Right now, companies are desperate for people who can build practical AI agents. They do not care about your degree, they care about what you can build. In the next few minutes, I will show you the 5 specific projects that prove you can solve real business problems, the exact tech stack to use, and how to structure your portfolio so it gets noticed immediately. The real hiring test isn't coding, it is this hidden portfolio trap. Now, build this. The system parses a ticket's intent without human labels, cross-references your entire knowledge base with vector search, then drafts not just a reply, but the correct one. It proves you can automate a core business function. That's the project senior engineers want to see. It moves beyond theory into measurable impact. But here's the pitfall. If you build a system that only spits out generic responses, you have missed the point. The true test is generating resolution, not just replies. The real-world complexity lies in discerning nuances between complaints, refund requests, and technical bugs, then executing the precise workflow. Mastering this distinction is what separates a toy prototype from a mission-critical tool. So, how do we actually cross that gap from generic to precise? The key insight is that the stored manuals are inert. The system's intelligence comes from dynamically constructing a resolution pathway. What this means is you are not retrieving an answer. You are architecting a sequence of reasoning steps that leads to a definitive action. Stop. This next part changes everything. Building on that, forget tutorials. Build these 5 AI agents instead. Here's where you solve a problem every company fears in real time. The key insight is moving from simple monitoring to intelligent interpretation. This agent does not just find mentions, it detects the shift in public emotion and identifies the exact moment a minor complaint becomes a viral crisis. What this means is you are building predictive reputation management. Stop reacting after the crisis hits. This project proves you can predict it. The pattern clearly indicates that sentiment decays in specific stages before exploding. Here's what's really happening. You are automating the intuition of a seasoned PR executive, turning raw social noise into a prioritized alert system that defends revenue before the first damaging headline even writes itself. What if you could predict an outrage before it explodes? The key insight is quantifying sentiment velocity, the speed of the emotional shift. This means measuring how fast anger accelerates. You are building an early warning radar that spots the moment frustration tips into viral outrage, triggering an alert while there's still time to act, transforming reactive damage control into proactive brand defense. Here's where most people completely miss the point. Building on that, forget tutorials. This single portfolio strategy gets you hired. Now, the third project forces you to handle real-world ambiguity. You build an agent that accepts a complex, open-ended question, intelligently navigates the web to gather authoritative information, and then synthesize a coherent, sourced report. The key insight is proving you can manage the full pipeline from fuzzy input to polished, trustworthy output. Now, let's talk execution. You are proving you can build a system that does not just search, but thinks. It must assess source credibility, resolve conflicting data, and distill everything into clear, actionable intelligence. What this means is you are demonstrating a critical, in-demand skill, transforming overwhelming noise into a signal a decision-maker can actually use. Function calling is your strategic advantage here. It prevents the agent from hallucinating. It's your guardrail, forcing it to fetch and cite real, current data. Pair this with a vector database. That's how you create long-term memory for sources. The final result: an assistant that learns from its research, building authority over time. Most people skip this part. That's exactly why they stay stuck. Building on that, forget building the AI, can you prove it works? So you've built a clever agent. But an executive just asks, did it actually save us time? This is the final test. Your portfolio must prove measurable impact. Quantify the hours recovered from manual note-taking each week. That specific metric, the time dividend, becomes your most powerful credential, turning a technical project into an undeniable business case. What if I told you they are not buying software at all? Here's the brutal truth: executives do not buy software, they buy solutions to headaches. By automating the drudgery of meeting notes, you target a high-value, emotional pain point. Your project demonstrates you do not just understand technology, you understand how to translate it directly into regained productivity and organizational clarity. That translation skill is what gets you the job. Think that meeting facilitator taking notes. No. They are mentally distilling action items, judging participant engagement. Your agent must play this hidden role. It decodes the true meeting, extracting not just decisions, but the hesitations or non-answers that predict project success. You are demonstrating strategic perception, proving you see the intelligence behind the words that management truly needs. This is the detail that separates beginners from practitioners. Building on that, forget those projects, your portfolio is hiding a fatal flaw. What if your agent did more than just categorize? What if it spotted the strategy behind the spending, predicted cash flow, and generated real negotiation scripts to cancel wasteful subscriptions? That's not an auditor, that's a financial copilot. This depth proves you do not just process data, you extract actionable intelligence that saves real money. This final project moves you from analyst to advisor. The intelligence is in how it synthesizes privacy, strategy, and utility into one system. That portfolio piece does not just talk about security protocols, it proves you can architect tools people actually trust with their most sensitive information, which is the ultimate testament to your skill. Let's land this. You are not just parsing data, you are building a trusted advisor. This system translates raw transactions into actionable strategy, revealing not just where money goes, but why it matters. That leap from passive reporting to proactive intelligence is what makes your portfolio impossible for an employer to ignore. You have engineered insight. If you have been skimming, now is the time to pay full attention. Building on that, forget everything you have heard about building an AI portfolio. Imagine a hiring manager, not a technical reviewer. Your readme must tell the story of a business impact solved, not just list libraries. Frame the why first. What costly inefficiency or missed opportunity did your agent eliminate? This narrative proves you think in outcomes, transforming code from a curiosity into a clear value proposition. That Loom video isn't just a concept, it is tangible proof you can deliver. A hiring manager sees an agent you built autonomously solving a real-world problem. It bypasses technical jargon to show concrete results. This final piece transforms your portfolio from a collection of code into undeniable evidence of your applied, business-ready skill. Think of your portfolio site as a highlight reel, not a technical manual. Each project tells a story of a problem you solved for a real user. Focus on the before and after. Did you save someone time, money, or effort? That outcome is your credential. It frames you not as a hobbyist, but as a professional who delivers value. Everything covered so far leads to this single idea. Hiring managers look for problem solvers, not certificate collectors. These projects prove you are one. Start with project 1 or 2. A single, well-executed agent is more valuable than 5 half-built tutorials. Pick one project, clone a similar GitHub repo to start, and focus on getting a clean, working version live by next week.